Hey everyone, Laura Nichols here. Welcome, welcome. I was just sitting down to whip you up a fresh blog, and it's about resources. So it made me think of this story, which is actually a good one. It made me think of the day that I found out about and joined Empower Network. And I was sitting in my car in the parking lot, and I was on unemployment at the time. I'd lost my job over a year prior. I'd started my first MLM about 6 months before this point in time, and it taught me a lot. And I was selling some health and wellness products, and then trying to get into building a team. And I come from a mental health background. I'd been working with kids for 14 years, so I was totally out of my element with very limited tools. And I have a lot of respect for that MLM and the model, and for the people who brought me into it and showed me another way. However, I quickly realized I wasn't going to be making a livable income anytime very soon, and I needed to figure something out. I needed to understand how to market and build this business. Just doing what I was doing and trying to have, shake parties and handing out my card all over the place was just very noble, but not coming together. So I was actually literally sitting in the parking lot of the grocery store. It was a windy spring day. I've told this story before, but it is a good one. Which, by the way, let me sidetrack for a minute. Wherever you are right now, you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and especially if you're struggling, it's part of your story. And just in those moments where you're like, man, how is this going to work out? What am I going to do? You just remember that you're going to have one amazing story to tell one day, because you will persevere and you will get through it. Whatever it is, the way will present itself. So you just have to be watching for it and listening for it. Anyway, so I'm sitting in my car, windy spring day. There's these little birds that nest in the trees of this part, in the parking lot of this shopping center. And in the spring, they kind of like dive bomb people as they walk into the grocery store because they're protecting their nests. It's just something that happens every year. It's kind of funny, I think. Anyway, so I'm sitting there watching those birds do their thing, and just kind of spacing out. I had been calling my credit cards to see which ones. Literally, I had like $10, $20 on. I was checking my bank account on my phone, so to see I needed money to buy food. And as I was flipping through my phone, I don't know why, things do happen for a reason. I decided to check the spam box of my email, and I did, and I got this message from this guy who was responding to one of my Craigslist ads. I was placing these goofy ads, trying to build a team because I didn't know what else to do, and my sponsor had suggested it to me. I got nothing out of those, by the way, except for a great experience. I was not a failure, it was learning, and it brought me to Empower Network. Anyway, this guy responded because he saw what I was doing, and he'd done the same exact thing. And so I called him. His phone number was actually in his email, which I thought was impressive. Called him, he called me right back. Another thing I was impressed by. And, we got to talking and realized, he'd been through exactly what I'd gone through with another company. All my problems were something that he'd experienced, and he had some answer to a solution. And he wasn't pushy at all. It was really like, hey, here's what I did. He kind of was like, I feel for you. And I've since got to know that guy a little bit. He's my sponsor in Empower Network, and I really respect him, and I appreciate what he did for me that day. And so, taking the time. Anyway, I remember thinking though, and I remember telling him like $25 and then $20 as an affiliate fee so I can make money off this, or at this, is no joke to me right now. And I think I even said to him at the time, we'd have to ask him, his name's Sam, but I'll figure it out, because if there's one thing that I've learned in this adventure is that, you take your focus off of the how of what's going to happen, you keep your focus on the what it is that you want to have happen. And if you keep your eyes open and your ears and your heart and your mind, the way does really present itself. You get real resourceful. I'm going to show you something. It's kind of dramatic, but I don't know if you can see. Yeah, see that bruise on my arm, and like I got scratches and stuff. So what that is, right now I'm getting the resources together to get the very last Empower Network product so I can be all in. And what that'll mean is that I'll have access to, I can make more money in my business. I'll have access to more marketing and resources, and it's just going to blow up my business. So, but it's a little chunk of change, totally worth the money, actually worth more than what I'm going to pay for it. But I'm getting together the last little bit of it here, and I've told myself that I will have the money within the next probably several days here. So we'll keep track of that one. But So that bruise and the scratches are because I took work on my friend's property clearing brush last week. And my point is not like, wow, I'm so awesome, but my point is that like when you want something bad enough, you get real resourceful and you, like I said, take advantage of what presents itself. I looked at some other things and fairly prideful person. I don't like to ask to borrow money, but I know that I'm going to have it back in a few weeks, so I have asked a couple friends, and I'm sure that'll come about as well. So that's my point, though, is that you just start opening your eyes to the possibilities around you and stay focused on that thing that you want, and you can get very creative with finding ways to make it happen. So I'm like Scrooge McDuck, you know, I find people call me for little extra odd jobs like that sometimes because I'm bound and determined. I could go get a job, um, but I did that for like 22 years and I'm out. I'm done. You know, don't get me wrong, I'll do whatever I have to do, but I'm not going to go back to punching a clock. So I come home and I put my little money like Scrooge McDuck in a jar, and and now I'm real close to being all in. So stay tuned for that. But encouragement to you is just take heart wherever you are. Um, if you want it bad enough, you just find a way. Like I said, open your eyes to the possibilities around you, and something will present itself. You just have to be open and looking for it. All right, and with that, I'm going to wish you a great day. Click the link below, join me, get in this adventure. It will change your life forever, and you'll never be sorry. And I'll catch you in the next video.